have your attention, please?
Live from John's Refrigeration Media Center at the East Valley Institute of Technology, this is All Hits 88.7 The Pulse.
Put up the speaker.
KPNG Chandler, Phoenix. Broadcasting 24/7 from the Dutch Bros Studios. Talk or text anytime. 480-655-8870. Streaming and apps at PulseRadio.fm.
And a very good early morning. It is time to refile the neckties, the records, the drums have been refiled, and the coffee is brewed. Let's enjoy the PulseRadio.fm.
For the Veterans Day holiday tomorrow, mainly sunny with a high of 72. That's your Valley forecast. I'm Dave Jude on Neon 90.7 and 88.7 The Pulse.
Jazz and blues from RadioPhoenix.org. This is Full Moon Hacksaw. Broadcast nationally through PRX, the Public Radio Exchange, and Pacifica Network's audio port. Distribution made possible with financial support from Shiner Gold Pomade, regular, special, and clay hair holds for men and women. Shave soap and merchandise. Retail locations in the U.S. or global online store at shinergold.com and Shiner Gold on Facebook. Promotional consideration for this program is provided by MIM, Musical Instrument Museum, the world's only global musical instrument museum, and the MIM Music Theater at Tatum and Mayo Boulevards in Phoenix, mim.org. Your host for this radio series is Tom Colson. Get a downloadable MP3 of this and other hours with playlists or listen anytime at fullmoonhacksaw.com.
Stopped into a tavern, saw some friends of mine. Party was getting underway, and juice was really flying, and I got loaded. I got loaded. I got loaded. Oh, I sure got high. Told my pretty baby I wouldn't stay out no more. Every time I tried to leave, I fell down on the floor, and I got loaded. I got loaded. I got loaded. Oh, I sure got high. Made me feel so happy while it was going down. I took a sip on every trip that bottle went around, and I got loaded. I got loaded. I got loaded. Oh, I sure got high. Last thing I remember, I heard somebody say, won't my soul just let 'em roll until the break of day? And I got loaded. I got loaded. I got loaded. Oh, I sure got high. If you see my baby, tell her this for me. I didn't mean to stay so long, but the juice down there was free, and I got loaded. I got loaded. I got loaded. Oh, I sure got high.
So that's what happened. I got loaded. Peppermint Harris. Don't know anything about him other than this cropped up on a compilation recently from Kokomojo Records. I believe that was the label. One of the subsidiaries of Rhythm Bomb, Robert Wise collection. Holly Hoffman on alto flute before that. Her alto flute project CD, Low Life. This is a group that included her husband, Mike Wooford, piano, but it featured more of Anthony Wilson, composer and guitar there, with John Clayton on bass and Jeff Hamilton drums. Full Moon Hacksaw for review and to share with you. So you're joining us in progress and on the radio nationally. This looks interesting. It's another new track off the Christian McBride, John, J-A-W-N CD. This is called The Middleman. Christian McBride's New John, J-A-W-N. If there's one thing the acclaimed bassist knows, it's that when it comes to grit, there's no better resource from which to draw than his own hometown, Philadelphia. And we took the track The Middleman, Christian McBride bass, Josh Evans trumpet, Marcus Strickland on tenor sax and bass clarinet, Nashit Waite on drums.
Young Sounds of Arizona is a non-profit youth jazz ensemble supported in part by Phoenix Federation of Musicians, Local 586 of American Federation of Musicians. Young Sounds members are chosen by audition of middle school and high school age students each year. A mentorship program founded in 1971 to provide further training, performing opportunities, and artistic growth ages 12 to 18. Learn more, contact them, youngsounds.org. Young Sounds of Arizona on Facebook.
Radio Phoenix wishes to thank underwriter Los Compadres Restaurant.
Los Compadres is in the heart of the 19 North Corridor in Phoenix.
Information and reservations on Jazz Night, dinner, drink specials, and reservations at 602-864-0043.
Follow Los Compadres PHX on Facebook and Instagram.
Promotional consideration for this program is provided by MIM, Musical Instrument Museum, the world's only global musical instrument museum, and the MIM Music Theater at Tatum and Mayo Boulevards in Phoenix, mim.org.
Financial support comes in part from Gifts and On, 12-step gift and bookstore since 1977. 7th Street south of Bethany, home in Phoenix, open Tuesday through Saturday, and southeast corner of Scottsdale and Shea, open Monday through Saturday. Gifts and On Facebook.
Underwriting for Radio Phoenix is provided in part by Tom Batson, CFP, on behalf of certified financial planner professionals. Personal financial advice for major life events and for reaching financial goals at wellsfargoadvisors.com/tom.batson. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC.
You're listening to Jazz and Blues with Full Moon Hacksaw on 88.7 PulseRadio.FM.
All right, let's continue with a new version of an oldie by Cannonball Adderley, new in 1975. The Greg Fishman Quintet, Mr. Fishman on tenor saxophone. Also on sax on this session, Doug Webb. The rhythm of Mitch Foreman and Kevin Axt and Dan Schmell on piano, bass, and drums, respectively. They call it One for Hank. We don't know who Hank is. We can only deduce. We can theorize. Let's read a little bit about what the critics say about Greg Fishman. Throughout his career, Greg Fishman has focused on the straight ahead and Brazilian music, performing everywhere from the North Sea and Madeira jazz festivals to concerts and clubs in Southeast Asia. Relied upon to uplift any bandstand with enthusiastic playing. And then we said some things as well, such as we feel that he's right up there along with the masters without feeling a need to necessarily cut new ground. He just swings and gives the music the soul and the feeling that we really need right now, in our opinion. The Cannonball Adderley Group with brother Nat Adderley right there with him up to the very end. Cannonball died in 1975, so this was his last session, and they were redoing Work Song. It was written by Nat Adderley, heard on the cornet, Cannonball Adderley leader and alto sax, and it was a big hit for Cannonball in an earlier incarnation. Now, that last track with the two tenor saxophones together reminded us of a group, an ensemble called Alto Summit, which contained up to 4 altos playing at one time. But in this case, it's 2 of them. Pony Poindexter is followed by Phil Woods on the alto saxophones.
the simple things you do, the simple things I love about you. Your voice is sweet to hear. Simple things, knowing you're near. You could give me all the diamonds and pearls. You could take me around most of all, I love those simple things.
You can give a girl a diamond ring. You can give her all the world can bring. Don't you know it just don't mean a thing? If you don't have a heart, then you don't have nothing. You can give a girl a diamond ring. You can give her all the world can bring. Don't you know it just don't mean a thing? But baby, can't you see it's the simple things?
You could give me all the diamonds and pearls. You could take me around the world. Darling, you could give me all that life can bring. But most of all, I love those simple things. But most of all, I love those simple things. But most of all, I love those simple things.
And that was Candace Springs, Simple Things. Indigo is her release on Blue Note Records from 2018. That featured Scat Springs. Most of the tracks on the CD were produced by drummer Kareem Riggins. We've played Candace from her EP and also from this LP on the program recently. We mentioned that people warned us that she was someone to be dealt with as far as an up-and-coming vocalist. We questioned some of her motives on a recent CD review and enjoyed the ballad Unsophisticated very, very much. Here was another in much the same vein, a little more on the soulful and mellow side. Simple Things, Candace Springs, preceded by the group Alto Summit, and two of those saxophonists were Pony Poindexter and Phil Woods, playing on a track called Good Booty.
Jazz and blues from RadioPhoenix.org. This is Full Moon Hacksaw. Broadcast nationally through PRX, the Public Radio Exchange, and Pacifica Network's audio port. Distribution made possible with financial support from Shiner Gold Pomade, regular, special, and clay hair holds for men and women, shave soap, and merchandise. Retail locations in the U.S. or global online store at shinergold.com and Shiner Gold on Facebook. Promotional consideration for this program is provided by MIM, Musical Instrument Museum, the world's only global musical instrument museum, and the MIM Music Theater at Tatum and Mayo Boulevards in Phoenix, mim.org. Your host for this radio series is Tom Colson. Get a downloadable MP3 of this and other hours with playlists or listen anytime at fullmoonhacksaw.com.
It's time to find out what happened on this day in history with David Mendel and Time Rewind. Brought to you by Call It New, Call It Antique. Over 40,000 square feet of vintage antiques, records, collectibles, jewelry, women's clothing, and more. Call It New, Call It Antique. Located at the southwest corner of Dobson and Broadway in Mesa. Online at callitnewcallitantique.com.
Better promise me I'll be back in time.
It's Time Rewind for Veterans Day, November 11th. It remains a patriotic favorite today, but on this day back in 1938, God Bless America is performed for the first time by the singer for whom composer Irving Berlin wrote it, Kate Smith.
If you ever plan to move.
The place to get your kicks, U.S. Route 66, is established in 1926, rhyme not intended. Through the years, it's been called the Main Street of America. In 1981, Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Fernando Valenzuela becomes the first player in baseball history to win both Rookie of the Year and the Cy Young Award in a single season. Donna Summer turns a Jimmy Webb composition into gold in 1978 as MacArthur Park starts 3 weeks at #1 on the singles chart. Born on this day, actors Leonardo DiCaprio and Stanley Tucci, and actresses Demi Moore and Callista Flockhart. That's Time Rewind. I'm David Mendel.
Tune in for Time Rewind every day at 6:50 a.m., 8:50 a.m., 11:50 a.m., and 2:50 p.m. exclusively on 88.7 The Pulse.
John's Refrigeration and Train. Installation partners for all Train air conditioning systems or trade-ins. Offers vary by equipment.